Hello students, I welcome you all in today's pharmaceutical chemistry theory lecture. So this is the last part from our syllabus, that is identification test for cations and anions. So cations, these are the positively charged particles, these are the ions which are having the positive charge, and anions, these are the ions or radicals which are having the negative charge also. So these different types of the cations and anions are the compounds are there, and we will study the different identification test for that. So in the theory exams, there is a question asked that give identification test for carbonate, give identification test for bicarbonate ions. These type of the questions are asked in the theory exam. So these are the simple tests are there, identification tests are there. So similarly, like we perform the different identification test in the practicals also, sorry, in practice, yes, right, in the practical also there are, in your journal there are the different identification tests. For that, inorganic compounds are there. So these inorganic compounds, they are identified on the basis of their cations and anions present. So we will see one by one. So first test is for the acetate. So acetate, when it is react with the oxalic acid, there is a formation of the vapors of that acetic acid, and these vapors are having the a particular odor. So these acetate ions, they are recognized by the particular odor. Then when this acetate, it is react with the sulfuric acid, so in that first cases is acetate and oxalic acid, after heating they will there is a particular odor comes, start particular odor start to come. Then ॲसिटेट when it is react with the sulfuric acid, ॲसिटेट कोणासोबत जेव्हा रिॲक्ट होतात, सल्फ्युरिक ॲसिड सोबत जेव्हा रिॲक्ट होतात, म्हणजे जस्ट वी वॉर्म इट इन द प्रेझन्स ऑफ इथॅनॉल, देन देअर विल बी अ इस्टर ऑफ इथाईल ॲसिटेट इज फॉर्म. तेव्हा तिथे काय फॉर्म होतं, इस्टर फॉर्म होतं. इस्टर ऑफ इथाईल ॲसिटेट जे काही आहे ते तिथे फॉर्म होत असतो. त्याला काय असतो, तर पर्टिक्युलर ओडर असतो, दॅट इज पर्टिक्युलर स्वीट लाईक ओडर. सी दिस इस्टर्स are always having the sweet odor for these esters. So with this smell, with this ester smell, sweet smell, we can recognize that is the acetate ions. Then after that, third one test is for the acetate, it is react with the ferric chloride, that is FaCl3. Then there will be a formation of a red brown color. That test will give the red brown color. So these are the tests for acetate. So there are total 3 tests for acetate. First, in that it is react with oxalic acid, that time we are recognized by odor, that is vapor of acetic acid come and we can recognize it with the help of odor. Then sulfuric acid is there, so we just warm it in the presence of ethanol. Then there is also odor takes place, that is sweet odor of the ester is taking place here, sweet odor of the ethyl acetate. Then when it is react with ferric chloride, that is FeCl3, then there will be a formation of red brown color. So these are the 3 tests for the acetate. Then after that, next is the, after acetate, next is for the bicarbonate. So in that bicarbonate tests are, see, the third one test is very simple test, means when aqueous solution of this bicarbonate, when it is react with this acetic acid, that time this effervescence of the CO2 is formed. So say what is the meaning of this effervescence? So effervescence means if there is a glass and suppose you add any inosachet in that, then that fumes like come, that is means face like structure that come. So that is the effervescence. Okay, so first test aqueous solution of bicarbonate. So when it CO2 is passed over that, then it will be form calcium hydroxide plus CO2. Then there will be a formation of CaCO3, calcium carbonate, and water is formed here. Then again this aqueous solution of bicarbonate. See, this aqueous solution of bicarbonate means what? If what we are doing in the test tube, we are taking bicarbonate and simply adding some amount of the water here, that is the aqueous solution of bicarbonate. So after boiling, it will show the magnesium carbonate. There will be a formation of a white precipitate of a magnesium carbonate. Then aqueous solution of bicarbonate, when it is react with the acetic acid, that time there will be a effervescence of CO2 gas is formed. Then aqueous solution of bicarbonate, when it is react with mercury chloride solution, then there will be a mercury bicarbonate white precipitate is formed. See this bicarbonate. So fourth one is aqueous solution of bicarbonate plus mercury chloride solution. So mercury chloride solution, when it react with that, then there will be a formation of a mercuric bicarbonate. Bicarbonate white precipitate is formed here in the case of bicarbonate. So these are the tests for the bicarbonate. So first one, it is we have to take aqueous solution for each test. Okay, then first one, it is with CO2. Then there will be a formation of calcium hydroxide plus CO2. Then it will give CaCO3, that is calcium carbonate and water. Then second one, when it is react with magnesium sulfate. So when we start to boil, then there will be a formation of magnesium carbonate white precipitate when we boil it. Then aqueous solution of bicarbonate, when it is react with the acetic acid, then there will be a effervescence of CO2 gas is formed. CO2 gases effervescence are formed. Then when aqueous solution of the bicarbonate, when it is react with mercuric chloride solution, then there will be a formation of mercuric bicarbonate. This mercuric bicarbonate white precipitate is formed here. This is for bicarbonate. Then next test is for chloride. So chloride limit we had performed in the practicals chloride limit test. So similarly like that, means in the chloride limit test we are using silver nitrate, dilute HNO3, then there will be a formation of silver chloride and white precipitate of sodium nitrite is formed here. So similarly this test is like we had performed the limit test for chloride. Then when it react with manganese oxide, manganese dioxide and sulfuric acid, then chlorine gas when pass through it, then there will be a C chloride. Here we are using a filter paper here. So starch and potassium iodide paper, so we are using that filter paper, and that filter paper will be turn violet in color means when chlorine gas is passing through it and we are checking it by the filter paper, so that filter paper is turns into the violet color, means chloride. And even it is react with manganese dioxide and sulfuric acid. So when chlorine gas is passed through over it, so there will be a formation of starch and potassium iodide paper. That paper it turns into the violet color. So this is the test for chloride. So these are, we are seeing these anions. Okay, so these are the anions are there. Then after that we had seen for the carbonate. So same test like um, bicarbonate. So same test like that, when it is carbonate, when it is treated with water and acetic acid, then there will be a formation of the effervescence of carbon dioxide gas, CO2 effervescence will be formed. And when aqueous solution of the carbonate, when it is react with the magnesium sulfate, then there will be a formation of a magnesium carbonate white precipitate is formed here. Then when aqueous solution of carbonate plus CO2, then there will be a CaCO3, that is calcium carbonate white precipitate of the calcium carbonate is formed, and water H2O water is formed here. And see this test is similar as per the bicarbonate. Similar test as per the bicarbonate is there, that is carbonate. Then Next is the citrate. For the citrate, so neutral solution of the citrate, when it is react with the calcium chloride, when we boil it, this solution of citrate and calcium chloride, so there will be a calcium citrate, white precipitate of the calcium citrate is formed. Means neutral solution of the citrate plus calcium chloride. So when we boil it, then there will be a formation of calcium citrate, white precipitate of this calcium citrate is formed here. Then after that, next test for the citrate, when neutral solution of the citrate, when we react it with the silver nitrate solution, neutral solution of what citrate, and when reaction is taking place in between two, then there will be a formation of a white precipitate of silver citrate. Then after that, aqueous solution of the citrate plus sulfuric acid and potassium permanganate, when we warm it, then there is a decolorization will be takes place, decolorization of takes place. Aqueous solution of the citrate, when it is react with the sulfuric acid and potassium permanganate, when we warm it, then there it will decolorize म्हणजे काय, that color will be disappear of that solution. Means potassium permanganate, it's a purple in color. So when this reaction is taking place, when we are doing the test along with the potassium permanganate with sulfuric acid and aqueous solution of the citrate, and when we warm it, so there will be a decolorization of the means potassium permanganate, it's a purple in color. Okay, so that purple color will be disappear, so decolorization will be takes place here. Then next is the for the sulfate. So similarly we had seen in the limit test for sulfate also. So similarly, when sulfate is react with this barium chloride, then there will be a formation of barium sulfate and carbon white precipitate form. And when this aqueous solution of the sulfate, when it is react with the lead acetate solution, then there will be a formation of a white precipitate of a lead sulfate along with the NaOH solution. So here NaOH, that means the sodium hydroxide solution. This is the for sulfate identification test for sulfate. For sulfate, first is with barium chloride, then there will be a formation of what, barium sulfate and 2C carbon. Then when aqueous solution of the sulfate, when it is reacted with the lead acetate solution, then there will be a formation of a lead sulfate, white precipitate of lead sulfate and sodium hydroxide solution. And then after that, aluminium. So when aqueous solution of aluminium salt, when it is react with ammonium solution, when aluminium, okay, aluminium when it is react with NH3 ammonium solution, then there will be a gelatinous ppt of aluminium hydroxide is formed. That ppt, it will be a gelatinous, like gelatin paper you had seen like that. So that like the appearance of this test will takes place. So aluminium hydroxide gelatinous ppt is formed here. Then when this aluminium salt and when aluminium salt, when it is react with ammonia, and if we add here a few drop of a moderate blue solution, moderate blue, it's one indicator, and when we are adding here moderate blue solution, then there will be a formation of intense blue color is formed. When aluminium salt, when it is react with aluminium salt plus ammonia plus few drop of moderate blue solution, then there will be a formation of a intense blue color is formed in this case, means aluminium. Then after that, next is for barium. So barium salt, when it is react with the HCl hydrochloric acid and sulfuric acid, then there will be a formation of a barium sulfate. So white precipitate of the barium sulfate is formed here. Then next test is for the calcium. So there are total 3 tests for calcium are there. So first one is that calcium, when it is react with hydrochloric acid, sodium hydroxide and ammonium carbonate, then there will be a formation of a calcium carbonate. It's a white precipitate of the calcium carbonate is formed here. Then when this calcium, when it is react with ammonium oxalate, then there will be a formation of calcium oxalate. Calcium oxalate means white precipitate of the calcium oxalate is formed. And when it is react with the potassium chromate, so there will be a yellow precipitate of calcium chromate is formed here in case of calcium. So there are total 3 identification tests are there. Calcium, when it is react with the HCl, sodium hydroxide and ammonium carbonate, that time white precipitate of calcium carbonate is formed. And when calcium, when it is react with the ammonium oxalate, then there will be a formation of a white precipitate of a calcium oxalate. And when it is react with the potassium chromate, then there will be a calcium chromate, yellow precipitate of this calcium chromate is formed in this test. This is the identification test for a calcium. These are for the cations, test of the cations. Then after that, identification test for the sodium it's that is Na. So sodium salt, that is your sodium, when it is react with the hydrochloric acid, then there will be a formation of yellow color. And when it's 5% solution of the sodium, when it is react with the acetic acid and magnesium uranyl acetate, then there will be a yellow precipitate of sodium will be formed. There are HCl. First test is it is with the HCl through this platinum wire, then there will be a formation of yellow color. Then when it is react with the acetic acid and magnesium uranyl acetate, then there will be a formation of yellow precipitate of the sodium is formed. Then after that, next test is for the silver. So first you have to make the aqueous solution of silver. So aqueous solution of means what? Just you have to take that silver, means that compound, and you have to add little quantity of the water and mix it, that is its aqueous solution. So when this aqueous solution of silver, when it is react with the dilute HCl hydrochloric acid, then there will be a formation of a curdy white precipitate is formed here. Then when it is react with the potassium chromate, okay, so that time there will be a formation of a silver chromate, red precipitate of silver chromate is formed. So 2 tests are there. First test is with the dilute HCl and second test is with the potassium chromate. So aqueous solution of the silver, when it is react with the potassium chromate, then there will be a formation of a silver chromate, red precipitate of the silver chromate is formed here. These are the 2 identification tests for silver. Then after that, next test is for the ammonium. So ammonium salt, when it is react with the sodium hydroxide, that is NaOH, when we boil it, then there will be a ammonia gas is formed. See, this ammonia is having the particular odor. Anyone can easily recognize that odor of the ammonia. So from the odor of the ammonia, this test is we can identify that. Then when this aqueous solution of ammonia, when it is react with manganese oxide, when it and gas when is passed through it, so there will be a formation of hydrochloric acid and methyl red and yellow precipitate of will be formed, that is hydrochloric acid, methyl red, and along with its yellow precipitate will be formed here in the limit test, in the identification test for ammonium, that is NH4. So two tests are there. First is with sodium hydroxide, NaOH. Then when we boil it, then there will be a odor of the ammonia gas will be formed. And when it is react with the manganese oxide, when it gas pass through it, then there will be a formation of hydrochloric acid and methyl red yellow precipitate of this is formed here. Okay, so this is all about the identification test for the cations and anions are there. So this is your last chapter of this syllabus. So here we had completed our pharmaceutical chemistry 1 theory syllabus. Okay, so thank you so much for staying with me. Thank you so much for fully watching this video. Happy learning, and all the very best for your exams. So there are all the videos starting from first syllabus discussion to up to right now. All these videos are available on my YouTube channel. A different playlist for the practicals of pharmaceutical chemistry, then plain pharmaceutical chemistry, only pharmaceutical chemistry, that is all. In that all theory lectures are there. Okay, so do the study very carefully, then stay positive, work hard, and make it happen. So this is the cute for you, I made it. So just stay positive, then do the study best, and make it happen. That is, God, get a good marks in your exams. Okay, because your good marks will if your good marks is along with you, it's our success also. Okay, so thank you. Happy learning. Stay safe.